The longer you entertain what's not for you, all you're doing is creating potential soul ties and connections and alliances with people that make it harder and harder and harder for you to separate from them. So again, I go back to core values, establish them. Be clear on what your non-negotiables are. Be clear on what your deal breakers are. Be clear on what matters most to you. You cannot live life if you are not getting this, right? You cannot live life with this person if they're not doing this, if they're not integral and honest and trustworthy and timely, and they don't love you, whatever those things are for you, right? And when you notice that someone has crossed a boundary that's a core value boundary, end it. You have to move swiftly through these options so that you don't make the mistake of building a superficial, unfulfilling connection with someone. And now it becomes heartbreaking for you to part ways. It becomes harder and harder and harder. And let me tell you, somebody who is not aligned with you in values, they reveal that almost immediately. You just disguise it. You say, oh, well, let me just see. Oh, well, you know what? Let me just try one more time. You know what? He had a drink that night. So let me just, let's try it over mocktails instead of cocktails. We see so many red flags, and we see these red flags and we're looking at them and we look closer and closer and say, well, is it pink? That look red to you? It might be orange. Is that burgundy? No, the flag is red. The flag is red. We have to learn how to, we and I have given so much time staying in situations, trying to compromise our values, trying to make these conditions make sense to us when they're never going to make sense to us. Typically, when somebody breaks a core value or doesn't align with a particular core value, that exception that you make ends up being the reason that the relationship ends a year later, 2 years later, 15 years later. That same exact core value that was missing will end up being the thing that breaks you up long term.
True story.
That is so true, because Lord knows I stayed in my last marriage, like 5 years longer than I should have.
Sure. We've all been there.
Yeah, right. That's another show for another time.
Listen, so many people will come into your life, and it will be when you are clear, and I know I've said these words, I know I've said this phrase, core value, core value, core value. But when you are clear on what you value, you will not allow somebody to overstay their welcome in your life. You just won't. It will give you an ick that you cannot ignore. You just will not be able to ignore it. And if you do, when you are unclear, that's when you create these attachment issues. You don't have an attachment issue, you have a detachment issue, right? We have a self-worth issue. You want to attract a man, ladies, who are valuable. You have to understand that you're valuable first. And if you don't feel valuable, you have to do the work until you become valuable enough in your eyes that you understand that you deserve that value from somebody else. You deserve somebody who reciprocates that energy. You deserve somebody who is excited about you in constant pursuit of becoming the best version of yourself. You deserve somebody who's not in competition with you. You deserve somebody who's not calculating how many times you didn't agree with them on something that's just easily solvable via a conversation. You deserve somebody who honors and respects having a conversation with you. You deserve somebody who wants to love you in a way that they respect what you bring to the table. They respect your opinion. They respect how their decisions impact you. Absolutely. You deserve that. But the only way that you get there, really and truly, the only way that you get there is by constantly being on this journey of becoming your best self. And if you need examples, I will tell you that your first example is your current environment. And if that environment is not reflective on the life that you desire for yourself, we've got to make some changes in the environment, and we have to do it rapidly. The fastest you can move away from what's not for you is almost like magnetic. The further you can push that away and become whole within yourself, once you clear that lack of confidence for this confident person, man or woman, then you will start to attract the people who are actually for you. And it's worth the wait. I'll leave that there. It's worth the wait.